mountains out here, eating up a lot of
data, a lot
of
of
bandwidth on the
bandwidth.
5G.
Well,
So
doesn't
everything
matter
is
what's going to happen
slow.
for this race because Repechage 2 is on the
Oh
water.
my God, and we're tight again.
Tight again. I'm going to guess that is Purdue taking the
It's
early
Purdue and
lead.
Minnesota out there, looking pretty good at this point. Rutgers also in the red,
Yep.
and George Washington. So those
But George
four
Washington and Minnesota are
across.
probably totally even race at this moment.
George Washington and Purdue out in front. Rutgers sitting about a seat back, and Minnesota 2 seats back from there. And again, only 3 of these crews go through onto the final. Very, very nice rowing here. This is the second varsity 8. In lane 3, the stroke of that boat is young Mr. Jenkins, son of Coach Jerry Jenkins, we are going to assume. And they are putting a nice little move in Purdue out of there. But GW still in place. And I remember them looking pretty good this morning.
They were.
Rutgers in a very nice, fancy German boat called an Empacher. Which is yellow. They have probably the best fleet here.
I mean, former
That
varsity
was
program.
a very, very nice trailer which we saw yesterday. But those are all new boats since their varsity program. Their alumni endowment is a great source of support for that program, which is awesome.
And I think they're coming up towards the 1,500 meter mark. They're probably about 1,200, 1,300 meters in. I think Purdue is still holding that lead pretty strong, whatever piece of it that they have. Great.
And it's lengthened out just a little bit.
But not much more than half
it
a
looks
length.
like Purdue in front, but it looks like Rutgers moving up. And then on the outside, Minnesota.
Coached by Scott Armstrong.
Scott Armstrong was the varsity coach at Dartmouth for many years. Really a very, very successful coach. Then his family life and his personal life and his professional life took him a different place. And he just sort of came back into Minnesota a couple of years ago, building a really ridiculously good program. And that's a program that has just been a sleeping giant for a long time.
Yeah, and I think from the notes he's telling me, a lot of these guys were in the same boat together last year, all sophomores, and they came back with a purpose.
We have 3 boats. We do have Purdue out in front, but we have 3 crews there absolutely within a seat with only 2 going
George
forward.
Washington is just barely off your screen now, but you can see the puddle of their oars. Here we are now. They are charging up on Rutgers. I wouldn't assume that Rutgers holds that seat that they have ahead of GW right now. I think these crews, both in the Empachers, are going to come up to a photo finish.
And the Minnesota rowing, very nice, very powerful, very contained. And, they row on the Mississippi River in 12 degrees in the winter. So these guys are coming out going, oh, it's a little rainy, it's a little windy, whatever, let's go. And you can just see some very organized rowing out of Scott's crew up there. And they're just, again, slowly taking a seat. And this is going to come down to a seat. GW looking like they're on the short end of this. And Rutgers and Minnesota coming in to Purdue, and absolutely Minnesota on the move here. Let's check a rating. Minnesota taking another stroke, another seat, 39, and they're just coming into the red buoys here at 2:50 to go. We'll see if anyone really has a sprint here that's going to do it for them. Purdue very nicely up in front there.
I don't know. GW's back in the conversation.
GW's back in the conversation again, and so is Rutgers. And it's going to be really tight. It's going to be an awesome. Now we're going to have a 4-boat photo finish. Although I do think Purdue is going to stay out in front by about 2 seats.
I think Rutgers is about to lose their edge here.
I think so too.
They're putting up a really good piece,
but
they're sinking back just a little bit as everyone else charges ahead. They're coming up to that finish tower very soon.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I think Rutgers is a little bit behind there.
Rutgers on the back end of that. Purdue 6'10". Second place. Minnesota 6'11", having moved up with that gorgeous move. Then it's going to be GW at 6'11.5", so 2 tenths
of a second.
And then Purdue, Rutgers at a 6'11.8", so 5 tenths between second and fourth. Unfortunately, fourth goes into the next level. Just an awesome race here. That was really tight all the way down. Really nice racing athletes and coaches. Middlebury 626, Boston College 627.
For New England crews rounding out the end of that repechage. Great racing. It's something that we all love to see, and hopefully those of you who are tuning in for maybe your first rowing race or first year of watching racing, this is what we love to see, right? Nothing in the seating matters until you